This is how the logs would later describe it. First contact. Accidental, tactile, irreversible. But before the reports, the hearings, and the frantic rewrite of humanity's understanding of ownership and consent, there was only Gabriel Rios. Tired, undercaffeinated, and entirely unprepared for a night that would reshape his species. Beginning. The research outpost on Trident. 6 always felt too quiet at night. It was built into the side of a quartz cliff, the walls humming with geothermal siphons, the air filled with a faint metallic tang of purification units. Gabriel loved it anyway. He had volunteered for this assignment after 2 years of desk work, desperate for something real, something to remind him that exploration still meant something. What he did not expect was her. The locals, if one could call them that, had only been observed through telescopes until recently. They were elusive, bioluminescent forms capable of partial physical phase shifting, and they avoided humans with the wariness of a species accustomed to surviving predators. The team called them Oroliths, though no one knew their actual name for themselves. On the night it happened, Gabriel was cataloging mineral cores in the outer corridor when he heard it. Soft, crystalline footsteps echoing in a rhythm too delicate to be human. He froze. The security grid had shown no motion. No alarms had triggered. Then a whisper in the dimness, almost melodic. "Do not move." Gabriel's breath caught. He turned slowly. There she stood, tall, translucent, shimmering with a soft violet glow that pulsed like a heartbeat beneath her skin. Her silhouette was humanoid, but everything else defied categorization. Hair like drifting nebula threads, eyes faceted like gems and yet warm, expressive. An Orolith, right in front of him. She looked over her shoulder when he shifted his stance, as though checking for something unseen, then returned her gaze to him. "Human," she said. Not in his language, but he understood her anyway. The sound resonated directly through his skull in a kind of gentle pressure. He had no training for first contact. That was Dr. Leone's specialty. He was a geologist, out of his depth in the moment the universe decided to pay attention to him. "I'm not here to harm you," he said quietly. "I didn't expect." He gestured. Too sudden. Too human. She flinched, and instinctively, he reached out a hand in apology. His fingertips brushed her arm. A soft jolt, like static but deeper, raced up his arm. Her eyes widened. And then she spoke the sentence that would haunt him in every official debriefing afterward. "You touched me, human. Now you belong to me tonight." Middle. Gabriel stepped back. Belong. To her. What did that mean in their culture? "I think there's been a misunderstanding," he said cautiously. But she moved forward with fluid grace, closing the distance effortlessly. Her hand hovered near his chest, not touching, just sensing him. "Your contact marked you," she said. "Bonding is not undone." Gabriel swallowed. What does this bond entail? She tilted her head, studying him. Protection. Claim. Translation is limited. But you are under my keeping until the next triple moonrise. Triple moonrise. 7 hours. He exhaled. Okay. All right. If I'm under your protection, does that mean danger is coming? A ripple of gold shimmered along her arms, a sign of agitation or warning. "My kind does not move through your dwellings," she said. "We avoid the metal and the noise. But a hunter follows. Something old. Another species. A predator." No scan had ever shown signs of hostile fauna. "What hunter?" he asked. Her voice dimmed. "Shadow that feeds on thought light. It sensed me when I crossed into your stone hive. A mental predator." Gut. Gabriel felt the back of his neck prickle. He needed to alert the others. But the moment he reached for his comms badge, she seized his wrist, gently but with impossible strength. Do not call more. Why not? The hunter grows with minds. One human draws it. Many humans call it. A telepathic predator would indeed behave like that. More minds like lanterns in a void. Gabriel's mind raced. Then we need to get somewhere shielded. She nodded. Your deep cave. The quiet chamber. The isolation chamber, lined with mineral composites meant to block radiation and psychic interference. They could hide there at least until the moons rose. He led the way through the quiet corridors. At several points she paused, gazing through walls with senses he couldn't define. Once she whispered, "It brushes the barrier. It tastes for fear." Gabriel tried to still his thoughts, but panic clawed at him. The lights flickered just once, then stabilized. She hissed softly, eyes brightening. "It presses harder now." I hurried. Inside the isolation chamber, the air felt heavier, shielded, muted. She stepped in after him and placed a glowing hand on the door's inner panel. The energy field sealed them in. For the first time, she sagged slightly, as though exhausted. "You okay?" Gabriel asked. Her luminescence dimmed. "Sustaining a shield alone drains my core light. But your touch strengthened it." He stiffened. "My touch. Bonding is twofold," she murmured. "Energy shared. Not by choice, by instinct. But your energy resonates." A strange warmth pulsed between them again, almost like a sympathetic vibration in the air. She stepped closer, studying his face as though reading thoughts directly. "You fear belonging," she said. "But I do not bind your will. I bind your safety." The hunter struck. A violent tremor shook the chamber as something massive slammed against the outer shield. Something unseen but palpable. A psychic impact that made Gabriel's ears ring. The lights dimmed. She stiffened, hands rising, glow intensifying. "Is the shield strong enough?" Gabriel asked, voice shaking. "With you, yes." He placed his hand over hers without hesitating. Another surge of shared resonance. Final psychic shriek, then silence. Minutes passed. Slowly her radiance softened again. "It retreats," she said at last. "The path to me is lost." Gabriel slumped with relief. Ending. When the triple moons finally rose, casting pale braided light through the chamber's small viewport, her glow shifted. She stepped back from him, gaze gentle. "The night ends." Gabriel felt an unexpected heaviness. "So, the bond is over." She hesitated. The pause surprised him. "The claim ends," she said. "The belonging changes." He frowned. "Changes how?" "You touched me without knowing," she whispered. "Yet you did not abandon me when danger rose. Humans fear what they do not understand, but you faced it beside me." Her form flickered, half phase, half present, like mist catching moonlight. "If you wish the bond to fade completely, it will. If you wish it to remain, I can return when the moons meet again." Gabriel considered the outpost, the monotony, the endless data logs awaiting him. And then he looked at her, an impossibility standing in his reality. "I'd like you to return," he said quietly. Her smile was luminous. "Then I will come. And next time, human. The touch will not be by accident." She drifted backward, dissolving into a swirl of violet and gold. For a moment, the chamber was filled with a soft chiming hum, like distant music, then she was gone. Gabriel exhaled slowly, the silence settling around him. First contact would be reported in the morning. The others would run tests, write protocols, debate treaties. But for tonight, He simply sat in the quiet, hands still tingling with a faint echo of alien starlight, knowing she would return when the moons aligned again.